Another thing those who hold views contrary to the scientific evidence often do is claim that there is a global conspiracy to silence their view. Flat earthers are one example.
And what about all of the photographs? I mean, the Flat Earth Society seemed to die in the sort of the space age when people got out of Earth's orbit and sent back pretty damning evidence that actually the Earth is a sphere.
As far as the evidence of the space age, I would say that anything like that could have been easily faked. I mean, especially with the technology we have today, you can simulate alien worlds, ghosts, demons, massive battles of orcs, and anything else you want. I don't think that proves much of anything.
The appeal to this, of course, is its explanatory power. Dr. Day seems to be very prone to conspiracy theories regarding subjects from flu vaccinations to cancer. You may remember Dr. Day claiming that the American Cancer Society is finally coming out admitting diet plays a role in cancer. This will make more sense in context of her conspiracy theories. Again, I won't be debunking everything she says as her videos is about 2 hours long, but let's just take a look at a few examples.
But doctors admit they don't know what causes cancer, so how can they ever hope to cure it? But the causes of cancer are known. These 10 steps, these 10 natural health laws that I gave you, I found them all in the medical literature when I was searching for the way to get well. I was astonished, of course, to learn that they were all there. Yet no one ever told me about them during my medical training, and I never taught the doctors I trained because I didn't know. Why aren't we taught these things? Well, the pharmaceutical companies provide huge sums of money for medical research to find more drugs to treat disease. They're not going to provide funding to research the effect of fresh air and proper sleep on cancer or any other disease. They need a financial return on their research dollar. They need another drug to sell. Fresh air and sunlight and sleep are free. They can't be patented. They can't be sold for profit. This is just one of many examples I could give you. Follow the money.
I just can't help but to address the ignorant statements at the beginning. So just as a side note, doctors don't admit that they don't know the cause of cancer. The major cause of cancer is mutations, and what is carcinogenic can be tested by what's called the Ames test. The Ames test has been around for decades, and it's taught in introductory genetics classes. How can you be a medical doctor and not even understand what every undergraduate student does? That's pretty sad, and it says a lot about your knowledge regarding cancer. Now, first Dr. Day claims she found these health laws in the literature, but then she claims funding isn't provided for research. Well, what was the literature about if not research? The truth is, the American Cancer Society isn't finally admitting that diet is a factor in cancer prevention. In fact, the American Cancer Society has openly published research on a healthy lifestyle's correlation to cancer for years before 1999. A simple search with no effort put into it at all, a search a kid could do, finds an article in 1989 on diet and cancer with thousands of other results. If there was an effort to keep people from learning about the effects of lifestyle on cancer, they wouldn't spend money studying these effects. This alone shows how off base she is. But let's look at one more example just in case.
By 1988, over a third of the entire board of directors of Memorial Sloan Kettering had ties to the medical industrial complex, whose corporations produce a wide range of known or suspected carcinogens. For example, Exxon. It's one of the world's major producers of benzene, a major cancer-causing substance. General Motors is responsible for about a third of the nation's air pollution by tonnage, according to Ralph Nader. And these are only the direct corporate links. If you look at the other boards on which Memorial Sloan Kettering directors serve, you will find asbestos manufacturers, Allied Chemical Company, manufacturer of red dyes that are known carcinogens, and other producers of life-threatening chemicals. How ironic that those who are making millions by mass-producing cancer-causing substances now also are making money on the other end, first by controlling the types of cancer treatment allowed, then by producing the chemicals used for treatment of the cancers caused, at least in part, by the very substances these corporations originally produced. With these massive corporate ties, it hardly seems surprising then that Memorial Sloan Kettering favors an expensive care approach for cancer over that of prevention. These directors bring to their jobs at Memorial Sloan Kettering the same general philosophy and interests that guide their business and financial activities: make money. The result is that research is directed away from prevention, away from inexpensive alternative natural remedies, and toward more profitable treatments.
I'm going to assume for the sake of the argument that she's right, that all these corporate ties exist because this would be difficult to confirm. It's not like businessmen are trying to give people cancer so they can later sell chemotherapy to them and make lots of money. That's ridiculous. Benzene, for example, is an additive to gasoline. What, do you think they subjected different chemicals to the Ames test until they found a chemical that caused cancer and just randomly added that to gasoline? Please. But of course, I wouldn't be surprised if some of these individuals had financial reasons for being part of the hospital. I'm a capitalist. I don't care if people make money out of running a cancer center. The question is, and I'm sure this is what Dr. Day believes, are these companies trying to prevent a cure of cancer from becoming part of modern medicine? The clear and obvious answer is no. Information on prevention through lifestyle changes and alternate medicines regarding natural remedies is actually very accessible through their website. Another big thing Dr. Day mentions is how important the immune system is in a fight against cancer. The results of her plan is supposed to help the immune system cure cancer. Strangely enough, this is a big part of research that goes on at Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center. According to Wikipedia, in 2006, the center was one of 6 institutes selected to receive a $20 million grant for cancer research. The grant, one of the largest earmarked for cancer research the hospital has ever received, will be used for immunology research. The research today has gone far beyond studying proper sleep and fresh air, which, frankly, any scientist trained in oncology would find to be a ridiculous way to cure cancer. But despite her claims, research has been expanded into new and promising areas of research. Research into immunotherapy has yielded some exciting results thus far, but rather than explaining the research here, I think it would be more appropriate to point to 2 videos by researchers studying immunology at the Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center. You see, Dr. Day can point to rich businessmen, but ultimately, scientists aren't stupid. Oncologists spend their entire lives studying cancer. My hope is that when you really listen to these individuals who, unlike Dr. Day, have actually spent long hours testing their ideas, that you will realize the night and day differences between her claims and scientists' confident and well-tested and proven reality.
We've made a number of advances in understanding what's going on in the liver already over the last several years, and now we're turning our attention to looking at liver specimens from humans as well as livers from mice in which there's a tumor already growing. And this is hopefully going to allow us to identify new ways to use treatments from an immune point of view that could help make chemotherapy and other standard treatments much more effective.
And Jim developed a drug with the unpronounceable name ipilimumab, and it is in the last stages of FDA review for treatment of advanced melanoma. And what we've seen in treating now almost 6,000 people around the world with this drug is really the human examples of the 3 E's. There are some people, albeit a small number, maybe 10% to 15% of people who have true elimination, with this drug, which turns on the immune system in a very global way to hopefully see cancer better, where tumors that were there before just go away. And that's clearly elimination. But then we see maybe another 20% of people or more who have equilibrium. People in my practice who got treated with this drug 4 years ago, their scans were abnormal then, lumps in their lungs and their liver, but they're no different now.